Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning, Badvek, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes. Uh, Dr. Ajay, sir.
Yes. Thank.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Sir has joined, sir. Badvek, sir, unmute करो.
तो स्पीकर है ना अच्छा.
Yes, yes, sir.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning. Ajay, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Namaste. Namaste, Badwaik, sir.
How are you? How are you?
Yeah, fine, sir. Fine, fine. Thank you.
Since we are meeting again on the virtual,
Yeah. After a long time.
CDP was there as a
Correct,
resource
correct.
person.
Yes.
Ashish. Hello, Ashish. Hello, Ashish. Good morning, Dahika, sir. Dahika, sir, unmute करो. Dahika, sir. Okay.
आता झालं. हा, गुड मॉर्निंग सर. गुड मॉर्निंग एव्हरीवन.
गोरनुले सर. गोरनुले सर.
हा सर.
सर भुवनेश कुमार सर जॉईन झालेत का?
नाही व्हायचे आहेत म्हणून. आणि ठाकरे सर, संजय ठाकरे. फोन केला होता त्यांना, कळत आहेत ते 5 मिनिटात.
ओके.
सर गुड मॉर्निंग, भुवनेश कुमार सर. सर जॉइन हो गए, हो गए, हो गए. हो. सर जॉइन हो गए ना, डॉक्टर भुवनेश कुमार. मी करतो त्यांना फोन. सर भुवनेश कुमार सर, गुड मॉर्निंग. हॅलो. हॅलो, डॉक्टर भुवनेश कुमार सर.
माझा आवाज कुठे बंद झाला?
सर भुवनेश कुमार सर, काइंडली अनम्यूट सर. बडवाईक सर.
हो.
सर जॉईन झाले आहेत भुवनेश कुमार सर.
ओके. So it is 11. We can proceed.
1 मिनट सर, ठाकरे सर जॉइन होने के हैं.
Okay. जॉईनच नाही आले ते अजून. आपले साहेब जॉईन नाही झाले. आपले सर जॉईन होऊन झाले ना?
कॉल करतच आहे. Hello, Bhunesh Kumar, sir. Sir, unmute. You was unmute the mic, sir.
हो हा ठीक आहे. ठाकरे सर होतो म्हणतात एका मिनिटामध्ये.
फोन केला होता का?
ठाकरे सर एका मिनिटात जॉईन होणार आहेत.
फोन केला होता का?
हो आत्ता केलं होतं.
हा, मग ठीक आहे सर. मग त्याची वाट त्यांना जॉईन करू देऊया ना.
तो काय म्हणाले 1 मिनिट.
ठीक आहे ना, ठीक आहे. हाँ सर. अच्छा, मैं बुक करता हूँ. हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है. हाँ. आशीष,
Yes, now you can hear. Hello.
yes sir, yes sir.
You can hear me?
Yes sir.
Good,
Sir,
good.
good morning.
Very, very good morning and all the best wishes for this FDPS. Please carry on.
Yes sir, yes sir.
I think lot of participants, around 400 have joined.
Yeah. We are.
डॉक्टर भुवनेश कुमार सर गुड मॉर्निंग.
ठाकरे सर गुड मॉर्निंग. सर, ठाकरे सर जॉईन झाले आहेत.
Hello. Hello.
ठाकरे सर गुड मॉर्निंग. अनम्यूट करा सर, अनम्यूट करा. ठाकरे सर अनम्यूट करा, अनम्यूट. देवीदास ठाकरे सरांना अनम्यूट कर.
सर केला आहे त्यांना अनम्यूट.
म्यूट आहेत सर अजूनही.
आता अलाउड केले तुम्ही.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
आता पण अलाउडच होत नव्हतं ते.
हाँ, नहीं, ओके सर, ओके.
हाँ.
ओके सर. Padwai sir, can we start now?
हो या.
गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल.
Yes sir, good morning. कडाव मॅडम.
कडो मॅडम सुरू करा.
हॅलो, कडाव मॅडम.
चालले करा. अरे यार, कडाव झाला का रे अमोल? हा, पाठवा लागेल ना अर्जंटली. किती आठवडे होऊन गेले? 2 आठवडे होऊन गेले.
कडो मॅडम सुरू करा. अनम्यूट दिसतात आहे. पूर्वल सर फोन लावा तिला.
हो. Hello, Kada madam. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
हाँ madam. Hello, Kada madam.
काय माहिती काय होतंय मी तर इथून म्यूट पण आहे. हॅलो.
Yes. Hello. का बरं? का बरं? तू एक काम कर ना, तुझ्या ते घेऊन काय कर.
I have joined through landline this thing also. So please allow me to unmute from my desktop as well as from this both the devices.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, both the devices. So sometimes it does not work. I
Okay,
can
sir.
join
Okay,
over my desktop because the link is very unstable.
Kada madam आले का?
सर काय म्हणते स्वप्नाली?
हो हो करत आहे, जॉईन करत आहे. म्हणजे ते थोडा काही प्रॉब्लेम होता, ते टेक्निकल होत आहे.
दिसतात आहे. त्यांच्या असं वाटत नाही हे कोणाचे माहित नाही. डीजे कदम म्हणते ना, जे कदम, डॉक्टर जे कदम, त्यांना मेसेज आहे. पण हे कोण दिसतात आहे? एसी दिसतो इथे फक्त.
Yes, please. Meeting.
ओपन मोबाईल सुरू करून असेल ना, बंद झाला असेल तो.
तुमच्या मेल आयडी वर मी हे पाठवलंय.
आता इथलं जाऊ दे.
नाही, पण हे आहे ना माझं ते पूर्ण लिहिलेलं व्हॉट्सअप. तुमच्या मेल आयडी वर मेल केलं मी, ds_वडवाई. आणि 10 पासून सेट करून मला माहिती आहे काय झालं.
विंडो ओपन होईल का? नमस्कार सर. नमस्कार. इथून window
गुगल क्रोम
speaker आहे. Speaker. मी असं केलं.
जॉईन होते आहे
बस 2 मिनिटात.
2 मिनिटात.
माझ्या लॅपटॉप म्हणून मी 10:15
पासून सेटिंग केलं माहित नाही वेळेवर काय झालं काय हँग झालं
नेहमीसाठी लावून दिलं.
आता सगळे जॉईन झाले तर ते होतच नाही
काय
वेटिंग मेलचे सिलेक्ट
कॉलेज बंद आहे.
साइन इन आलं
साइन केलं. साइन इन. वेळात काम नाही. एक्झिट
वेट
करू क्लिक.
वेट
प्रिंटआउट घेऊन टाकायचं. अच्छा उघडत असेल तिथं
इथून ओपन होते पण पाहून असं वाचावं लागेल
चालू
कसं करते एक सेकंड
माझी पण स्लिप आहे तिथे. माझी पण करशील.
चालेल ठीक आहे. स्टार्ट करा दोन्ही आले डाउनलोड डाउनलोड झालं डाउनलोड त्याला मिनिमाइज डाउनलोड्स मध्ये झालं असेल कंपेरिंग सी एखाद्या सीवर क्लिक त्याच्यावर क्लिक करा
प्रिंटआउट काढलेस तर सुरू होते.
खूपच सारा डेटा आहे
जाऊ दे, परत एकदा ओपन करते. रेडी बाहेर कसं आलो आपण लबड झालं बरंच रेडी आहे.
तुमचं तिथे मेल लॉग इन करून ठेवलं.
कनेक्शन इथे आलंय.
अच्छा ठीक आहे, जाऊ दे मग असंच ऑन करते आता. मोबाईल मधूनच बोलते मी, जाऊ दे. Sir, am I audible?
Yes. Start, madam.
Yes, you are quite audible.
A very warm and cheerful morning to one and all present over here. On behalf of Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, I, Swapnali Kadav, would like to welcome you all in the virtual 1 week National Faculty Development Program on ICT tools for effective teaching learning, organized by Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Respected participants, before moving further, it's a humble request to everyone to mute your audio and turn off videos. We are here for the inaugural ceremony and the first day of faculty development program on ICT tools for effective teaching learning. Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya is one of the best among the top colleges in Nagpur city. Our college is well known for its discipline and it's timely appreciated by the parents and the academicians for the kind of education we provide. The institute continuously strives to improve the operational efficiency and has created to the needs of diversified learners with references to learning several courses in Faculty of Science, Commerce and Arts. The objective of organizing such faculty development program is to inculcate and enhance the abilities of faculty members by using the ICT tools and techniques, which will eventually lead to enhance the teaching learning process. Today, we do not need to go anywhere other than our own home or a given room to know some forms of ICT in our lives. Whether it is a computer, plasma TV or mobile phone, we all use ICT in some or other part of our lives. In today's society, people as consumers of ICT all strives for one dream, the dream of connected life and connected world. This entire week FDP will provide all the participants the in-depth knowledge about ICT tools and techniques. We are happy to announce that a total of 6,150 participants from 27 different countries and all our states in India have registered for this conference. I would like to thank from bottom of my heart to all the participants for this overwhelming response. Now, without taking much of your time, we are going to initiate our inaugural session. Before we start the inaugural session, let me pay my homage to Honorable late Govindraoji Vanzari, Founder President of Amar Seva Mandal, Nagpur. I also acknowledge the patronage to Honorable Dr. Suhasini Vanzari Madam, President Amar Seva Mandal, and Honorable MLC Advocate Amijitji Vanzari Sir, Secretary Amar Seva Mandal. It's my privilege to welcome Honorable Dr. Smita Vanzari Madam, Treasurer Amar Seva Mandal. I also welcome today's chief guest, Honorable Dr. S.R. Thakre Sir, Joint Director Higher Education Nagpur. I would like to welcome Dr. Bhuvnesh Kumar Sir, Dean, Research and Professor, Allied Health Sciences, Sharda University. I am delighted to welcome Dr. Dilip Bedwaik Sir, Principal, Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, and Dr. Pradeep Dahikar Sir, Vice Principal, Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya. It's my immense pleasure to welcome the speaker of the technical session of day 1, Dr. Ajay Kushwaha Sir. I welcome Dr. Gunole Sir, convener of this FDP program. Now we will commence the inaugural session. For this, I request Honorable Dr. Thakre Sir and Dr. Bhuvnesh Kumar Sir to light the digital lamp.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Thank you very much. Moving ahead, I request Dr. Gunole sir, Professor Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya and convener of this FGP to put his convener speech. Over to you, Gunole sir.
Thank you, madam. Good morning to all of you. On behalf of organizing committee, I welcome all the resource persons, academicians, and participants from this National One-Week Faculty Development Program on ICT tools for effective teaching and learning, organized by Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Honorable Professor Bhunesh Kumar sir, Dean Research, Shada University, and former Director of DRDO, and President of today's inauguration session. Honorable Professor S.R. Thakre sir, Joint Director of Higher Education, Nagpur, and Chief Guest of today's inauguration session of FDP, Principal of our college, Dr. D.S. Badwaik sir, Vice Principal of the college, Professor P.B. Daika sir, dear participants from the globe and from the various parts of the country. At first, I pay homage to late Shri Gondaji Vanjari, Founder President of Amar Seva Mandal, Nagpur. I would like to make a special mention here of Honorable Dr. Vanjari Madam, President of Amar Seva Mandal, and Honorable Advocate Abhijit Vanjari sir, MLC and Secretary of Amar Seva Mandal, and Dr. Smita Vanjari Madam, Treasurer of Amar Seva Mandal, Nagpur. Though they could not join us, yet their blessings and best wishes are with us. For the inauguration, Professor Bhunesh Kumar sir, Dean Research of Shada University, Greater Noida, and former Director of DRDO, sir has been kind enough to have spared his valuable time and for accepting our request to be preside over this FDP program. So we are highly obliged to you, sir. I offer a warm welcome on behalf of organizing committee. I also extend warm welcome to Honorable Professor S.R. Thakre sir, Joint Director of Higher Education, Nagpur, for accepting our request to be a chief guest for this one-week faculty development program. It is well known and accepted fact that learning is a root of all happiness in life, and education is an instrument for achieving the goal. The rapid development in the technology has made the tremendous changes in the education field, and impact is on the technology of communication and informations. This new digital technology has become inevitable and essential, and it promises revolutionary benefit for the present and future era. ICT, which include radio, television, as well as never digital technology, such as computer, Google software, internet, are powerful tool for educational change and reform. ICT helps to expand access to education, strengthen the relevance of education to the increasingly digital workplace, and raise educational quality. ICT provide base course material which enhance better teaching. The use of ICT in education not only improve the classroom teaching learning process, but also provide the facility of e-learnings, and successful implementation of ICT leads to the influencing and empowering the teachers and supporting them in the engagement with student in learning rather than acquiring the computer skill and obtaining the software and equipment. So the main objective of this organization of national level 1 week faculty development program is to enhance the proficiency of teachers in using ICT tools while teaching, to enable teachers to explore various Google applications and other digital tools, to develop e-class management skill in teachers, and to provide more interactive tools to the teachers. And therefore, this FDP will be beneficial to all the participants in their field. And for this national level FDP, around 6,460 participants have registered from 27 different countries and almost all the state of India. So I welcome you all, the participants on this occasion. We have an opportunity to be benefited by the talks of Dr. Kunal Gaikwad, Department of Electronics, ACS College, Chopra, Jalgaon, Dr. Ajay Kushwaha, School of Computer Science and IT, Jain, deemed to be University, Bangalore, Dr. Mamta Bahiti from Hislop College, Nagpur, Dr. Rinki Mulchandani, DAIMSR from the Nagpur, and Dr. Prajakta Dhote from City Premier College, Nagpur, and Dr. S.B. Kishore from SP College, Chandrapur. So again now at last, as a convener of today's this national level faculty development program, I welcome all the resource persons, speakers, academicians, and participants. So once again, thank you. Thank you, madam. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Gunole sir, for giving us the insight and objectives of this FDP. Now I request respected principal, Dr. Dilip Badwai sir, to deliver an introductory remark. Over to you, principal sir.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good morning to one and all. At outset, I would like to pay humble tributes to great visionary leader, let's say Govind Raoji Vanjari, founder president Amar Swamandal. On the behalf of Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, I, Dr. Dilip Badwai, principal of the college, extend a warm welcome to all the respected guests, academicians, faculty members, and research scholars on the occasion of inaugural function of a week national online FDP on ICT tools for effective teaching and learning, organized by Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. This inaugural function of FDP is presided over by Honorable Professor Bhuvanesh Kumar Sir, ex-Director DRDO, and presently Distinguished Professor and Dean Research, Sharda University, Greater Noida. Chief guest for this FDP, Honorable Professor Sanjay Thakre Sir, Joint Director, Higher Education, Nagpur. Guest of honor, Dr. Smita Vanjari ma'am, could not join this inaugural function because of some urgent meetings she is having, but she convey her best wishes for this FDP. Speaker for today's technical session, Dr. Ajay Kushwaha, Associate Professor. Vice Principal of Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Dr. Pradeep Dahikar, Convener Dr. W.B. Gurnole, all faculty members and participants from different colleges across India. Once again, I heartily welcome you all with my words. Dear friends, COVID-19 pandemic shows us a new way of organizing conferences. In last 2 years, we had organized a number of national and international conferences in online mode. Presently, most of the restrictions due to COVID-19 has been lifted by the government, and from February 2022, we started engaging our classes and examinations in mode. When we organize conferences in offline mode, then it is very difficult for the interesting participant from distant or remote places to attend such FDP. So future trends of organizing conferences will be in mixed mode so that most of the scholars participant can take benefit of it, and organizer have already started working on it. Our patrons, respected Dr. Suhasini Vanjari Madam, President Amar Swamandal, Honorable MLC from Nagpur Graduate Constituency, Advocate Abhijit Dada Vanjari, Secretary Amar Swamandal, and Honorable Dr. Smita Vanjari Ma'am, Treasurer Amar Swamandal. Under their dynamic leadership, our Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya continue to attain new heights, and as a result, our Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya is re-accredited A+ grade with CGPA 3.53 in its third cycle of re-accreditation. Dear friends, we use the pandemic as an opportunity and organize a number of online national and international conferences, seminars, and FDP to update the teacher community. And today is National 1 Week Faculty Development Program on ICT tools for effective teaching learning. This FDP will continue till 28th May of 2022. There is a range of remote teaching software available, and from them we have to choose the best of one of them. Effective communication is the key to successful teaching and learning, whether in the physical classroom or a virtual classroom. However, maintaining online communication with not one but or more students is undoubtedly challenging. Communication platforms help us to overcome it. They enable communication with larger group, with video conferencing, instant messaging, audio call, virtual rooms, and more with any devices and from anywhere. Some of the tools most commonly used for online communications are Zoom, as we are attending now, Microsoft Teams, Skype, Google Meet, and so on. There is an array of documents teachers have to maintain regularly, such as notes and test papers. A central location to store, organize, and manage all these documents is essential to properly keep track of them, especially when you are teaching remotely. Tools such as G Suite, MS Office, OneDrive, Dropbox, Evernote simplifies the process of maintaining the document. All this information will be covered in FDP. Speakers are well known in the area of ICT tools. Today, we will listen Dr. Ajay Kushwaha. He will deliver expert talk on understanding Creative Commons licenses and their importance. Next talk tomorrow will be delivered by Dr. Kunal Gaikwad on introduction of Google Apps and its add-on. Third talk will be delivered by Dr. Mamta Baheti ma'am. She will deliver talk on evaluation and assessment tools. Fourth day, we will listen Miss Rinki Mulchandani. She will deliver talk on creating blogs and websites. Fifth day, we will listen Dr. Prajakta Thote. She will deliver talk on Canvas presentation. And on the last day, Dr. SB Kishore from SB College Chandrapur. He will deliver talk on standardization of research tools for e-reporting writing. Dear friends, our Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya offers 9 graduation, 22 PG courses, 2 PG diploma, 6 higher learning and research centers that includes physics, chemistry, electronics, computer science, English, and commerce. More than 30 students have registered for their PhD from our center, and many have been awarded PhD degree. In last 5 years, we have published more than 300 research papers in the journals of national and international report. We are imparting education to around 8,000 students. We always try hard for the academic excellence and overall development of our students. Our college having international collaboration too. As coordinator rightly said, more than 6,000 participants, not from India, but abroad too, have registered for this national FDP. I hope this conference will aid to the participants' knowledge. Wishing great success for this national FDP. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for your worthy words. Now, let me have a pleasure to introduce Honorable Dr. Thakre, sir, Chief Guest of today's program. Before that, I would like to introduce sir. Dr. Thakre, sir, is a professor at Institute of Forensic Science, Nagpur, and presently Joint Director, Higher Education, Nagpur. The research area of Dr. Thakre, sir, is photocatalysis, material for energy generation and storage, material for adsorption of environmental pollutants. Sir has published more than 100 research papers in national and international journals. He has completed UGC major research projects, and more than 10 students received PhD under Sir's guidance. Now I would like to take the privilege to invite the chief guest of today's FDP, Honorable Dr. Thakre, sir, Joint Director, Higher Education, Nagpur, to deliver his address. Over to you, Thakre, sir.
तुमचा मोबाईल कुठे आहे?
हॅलो, ते जॉईंट डायरेक्टर लिहिलाय ना. हो, नाही, जॉईंट डायरेक्टर म्हणून नाव आहे बघ. जॉईंट डायरेक्टर नागपूर, जॉईंट आहे सर. स्वप्नाली मॅडम. स्वप्नाली मॅडम. हॅलो, कडव मॅडम. हॅलो.
I think there seems to be some technical glitch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we can carry
Yes,
forward
just,
and we can
just
listen
I'm
to him
asking.
later.
Yes, I'm asking, sir.
Yeah, we can listen to him later.
Now I request Dr. Thakre sir to start his introductory speech.
Inaugural.
He has not yet joined.
I have joined, sir.
Okay.
Now I would like to take the privilege to invite our chief guest, Dr. Thakre sir, Joint Director, Higher Education, Nagpur, to deliver his address. Over to you, Thakre sir.
आवाज नाही येत. सर आवाज नाही येत. ठाकरे सर आवाज नाही येत तुमचा.
ठाकरे सर आवाज नाही येत आहे तुमचा.
प्रयत्न करून.
Yeah, Mike, please open your mic and increase the volume.
म्यूट झालेला आहे.
म्यूट तर दिसत नाही येत.
Okay. हॅलो बडवाईक सर.
आपलं सरांचं.
हॅलो.
हा बोला बोला.
सरांचं म्हणणं काहीतरी टेक्निकल इश्यू आहे, तर वी कॅन गो फर्दर.
वी विल प्रोसीड फर्दर.
या स्वप्नाली मॅडम. येस सर.
हो हो. डिसाइड होतं त्यांना इन्व्हाइट करा.
Now I would invite Dr. Bhunesh Kumar, Sir, Dean, Research and Professor, Allied Health Sciences, Shada University, for presidential address. Before that, let me throw some more light on his contributions and achievements. Sir is a distinguished professor and dean at Shada University since November 2020. He is also an alumnus of GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, Nainital. He joined DRDO as scientist under Defense Research and Development Services, DRDS, in February 1985. Sir has published more than 130 research papers in national and international peer-reviewed journals, collated many reports, chaired many scientific sessions, and presented research findings in various national and international conferences. He has the credit of filing a dozens of patents and transferring a large number of technologies to industries for commercialization under Make in India mission of the Government of India. As a director of DIPAS, he established 50 main oxygen-enriched solar-heated shelter in extreme altitudes for rapid induction of soldiers in high and extreme altitudes. Sir has been bestowed with national and international awards for his valuable contributions. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Bhunesh Kumar Sir for his valuable guidance. Over to you, Bhunesh Kumar Sir.
Thank you, madam, for this nice introduction. Yes, I am delighted to note that this 1 week faculty development program, FDP, on ICT tools for effective teaching and learning is being organized by Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya and the Department of Chemistry of this Mahavidyalaya. I am really delighted to note that it is DST FIST sponsored department. In colleges or Mahavidyalayas, getting this kind of recognition, it itself speaks something about the school or the Vidyalaya, DST FIST. So really, you all deserve congratulations, appreciations for this. Chief guest of today's function, Professor Sir Thackeray, could not join because of technical glitch. He is Joint Director, Higher Education, Nagpur. Principal of this esteemed school, Mahavidyalaya, Dr. Dilip. The convener, Dr. Gurnule. Researchers, academicians, participants from India and abroad. I was thinking when I was looking at the number of the participants, more than 500, and just told by one of the speakers before that from more than 2 dozen countries they are, and from each of the states of our country. It itself speaks about the importance of ICT tools. Had there been this workshop or conference or whatever we call offline, we all are sure this number of participants might not have been here. So this is the strength of ICT, that we are joining, we are attaching the participants across the globe, and we are discussing on this platform. The ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a great pleasure for me to be here online this morning on this very auspicious day of inaugural function of this 1 week faculty development program being organized by this esteemed Mahavidyalaya Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. The topic of FDP, this FDP particularly, is evergreen. Evergreen in the sense it had its own importance in past, which is evident from this corona pandemic, as just spoken by the principal of the Mahavidyalaya, which we recently encountered. When all of us knowingly, unknowingly, perforce learned applications of such technologies for not only organizing the online classes, discussion meetings, offline seminars were converted into webinars, and doing work from home. And I think this was the call of the day, that time, need of the hour, those days, to maintain the distance and how to cut the transmission change of this novel coronavirus. So during this period, many of us who never handled computer independently, I still remember when I first had a meeting with Israeli people, we were doing some project on this coronavirus detection, terahertz technology. So meeting those days used to have every day at around 4 to 5 o'clock, and we used to discuss the strategy for next day. I never attended anything. I never joined online. So my colleague used to do this much of help for me, but within no time, I used to do on my own. And now we all are perfect, joining online, discussing online, and transmitting the information which is more important online. So this is the strength of this ICT tool, which we are discussing, for which we are having this 5 days FDP. Likewise, ICT will have its own importance in future also, because without such tools, this expected delivery in teaching, learning process, I think is not possible. And we cannot put the globe at one platform. Otherwise also, organizing these FDPs are important for NAC point of view, because we all are working for that, for accreditation. So I would therefore like to congratulate the organizers, convener, for choosing such an important topic for this FDP. Ladies and gentlemen, information and communication technologies which we are discussing today, as we all know, reflect towards devices, tools, contents, resources, forums, and services that can be delivered in digital forms and deployed for realizing the goals of teaching, learning, enhancing access and reach to resources, building of capacities, as well as management of educational system. These do not only include hardware devices connected to computers and software applications, but also interactive digital content, internet, and other satellite communication devices, radio and television services, web-based content repositories, interactive forums, learning management systems, and management information systems. These will also include processes for digitization, deployment and management of content, development and deployment of platforms and processes for capacity development, and creation of forums for interaction and exchange, as we are doing this time. The ICT tools are the latest technology or devices and concepts used in information and communication technologies among student to students, students to teacher interaction. These tools and technologies allow the teacher to produce and modify resources quickly and easily, also allow to access to a wide range of information in various formats, and interactive whiteboards, which have become essential tools in classroom teaching. ICT can impact students' learning when teachers are digitally literate, which we have today, and understand how to integrate it into curriculum. Schools use a diverse set of ICT tools to communicate, create, disseminate, store, and manage the information. As we all know, that we have a national policy on information and communication technology in school education, which has enabled the convergence of a wide array of technology based on technology mediated resources for teaching learning. It has therefore become possible to employ ICT as an omnibus support for education. The potential of ICT to respond to the various challenges the Indian education system poses might include: number one, ICT can be beneficially leveraged to disseminate information about and catalyze adoption, translation, and dissemination of sparse educational resource distributed across various media and forms. This will help promote its widespread availability and extensive use. Number two, there is a need to digitize and make available educational audio and visual resources which exist in different languages, media standards, and formats. Number three, given the scarcity of print sources as well as web content in Indian languages, ICT can be very gainfully employed for digitizing and disseminating existing print sources like books, documents, handouts, charts, and posters, which have been used extensively in school systems in order to enhance its reach and use. ICT can address teacher capacity building, ongoing teacher support, and strengthen the school system's ability to manage and improve efficiencies which have been difficult to address so far due to the size of the school system and the limited reach of conventional methods of training and support. And lastly, using computers and the internet at mere information delivery devices grossly underutilizes its power and capabilities. There is an urgent need to develop and deploy a large variety of applications, software tools, media and interactive devices in order to promote creative, aesthetic, analytical, and problem-solving abilities, sensitivities, and students and teachers. Dear friends, in current IoT and ICT era, we have, as someone said, internet-enabled campuses, storage data not only in iCloud in addition to server. We have excellent knowledge resource like e-journals, e-books, dissertations and thesis on Elflavinet, Shodh Ganga, e-reports, etc., which can be searched from a distance or place. We should make maximum use of such available technologies and resources if we really want to disseminate knowledge amongst the students and to improve teaching learning process. However, currently we are restricting conventional ICT tools like, as said by principal of the Mahavidyalaya, like computers, desktop, printers, projectors, photocopier, digital camera, scanners, tablets, DVDs, CDs, pen drives, iPads, web boards, microphones, interactive whiteboards, etc., etc. Would we have to come out with these conventional method to non-conventional? We have to find out new tools for this ICT so that we can better disseminate whatever we have and whatever information we want to convey to the students. The new education policy 2020, we say, greatly emphasizes on outcome-based education, which is possible only through effective teaching learning process. And that is the goal of today's this thing. For effective teaching learning process, we are looking for the application of these tools, where all the three components, teachers, if we make a triangle, teachers, students, and these tools play important roles. We have seen, we have experienced that we are at the present moment the consumer of the information. So from this concept, consumer of the informations, we have to convert ourselves into developer of information, so that we can become path breakers rather than followers. So this is the need of the hour, and we have to change this teaching learning process and skill-based, outcome-based education system. With these words, I once again congratulate the organizers on this wonderful occasion and wish this FDP a grand success. I sincerely wish and fervently hope that this 1 week long FDP will provide a vibrant platform to the participants, researchers, and faculty members to cross-fertilize their thoughts, process, and ideas to maximize the application of ICT tools, which really become effective in teaching learning process, but keeping the economic friendly aspect in view, because our students, they come from all walk of life. We have to keep this thing also in mind. During this corona pandemic, we have learned a lot of lessons. Tools are easily available, provided our financial this criteria meets and approves. So with these words, I once again thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my views. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening our participants. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have come to the end of inaugural function of 1 week virtual National Faculty Development Program on ICT tools for effective teaching learning. Now I invite Dr. Pradeep Daikar, sir, to propose the vote of thanks. Over.
Daikar sir, unmute.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
I pay humble homage to late Shri Govindraoji Vanjari, the founder president of Amar Seva Mandal. It's my immense pleasure and proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks of gracious inaugural function of National 1 week faculty development program held on topic ICT tools for effective teaching learning. At the outset, I am thankful to Dr. Bhuvanesh Kumar, former director of DRDO, for presiding this inaugural function and enlighten us. I am thankful to President of Amar Seva Mandal, Honorable Dr. Suhasini Vanjari Madam, for constant inspiration to organize such programs. I am very much grateful to MLC and Secretary of Amar Seva Mandal, Honorable Advocate Abhijit Vanjari sir, for always motivating us and strong support. My sincere thanks to Honorable Dr. S.R. Thakre sir, Joint Director, Higher Education, for inaugurating this function. Due to some technical problem, he could not join with us, but best wishes are with us. My sincere thanks to Treasurer of Amar Seva Mandal, Honorable Dr. Smita Vanjari Madam, for his valuable support. I express my sincere thanks to Principal of our college, Honorable Dr. Dilip Badwaik sir, for successfully leading this event to make successful. I heartily congratulate convener of this conference, FDP, Dr. W.B. Gurnule and entire organizing committee for making this function grand success. At last, but not least, I humbly thankful to all the participants, teachers, scholars, and students. Once again, I am thankful to those who have supported us directly, indirectly to make this event success. Thank you. Over to Madam.
Thank you, Daikar sir. With this, we have come to an end of inaugural session and let us move towards the technical session. Before moving ahead, I would like to inform the participants that if you have any query or questions in the middle of the session, kindly put it in the chat box. At the end of the session, we will have question answer session as well. So the queries and questions can be asked at the end as well. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce the first speaker of our technical session, Dr. Ajay Kushwaha sir. Dr. Ajay Kushwaha sir is working as Associate Professor in School of Computer Science and Information Technology, deemed to be University, Bangalore, since November 2020. Dr. Kushwaha sir, prior to this, he worked in Lovely Professional University, Pagwara, Punjab, as Associate Professor from 2017 to 2020. He is also working as a co-guide to 3 PhD scholars from Lovely Professional University in domain of blockchain, wireless sensor, network optimization. He has published 2 patents and 1 patent has been communicated for final grant in collaboration with Lovely Professional University. He is a lifetime member of Indian Science Congress, Hong Kong, and also holds the membership of IAENG for Society of AI, Computer Science, Data Mining, and Software Engineering. He is working as an editor, guest editor, reviewer for more than 8 Scopus UGC listed peer-reviewed international journals. He has published more than 31 national and international research paper publications in conferences, journals, etc. He co-authored 7 books in national and international publications in computer science and applications, and also published articles in newspapers like Hitwada on science and technology. He has participated and conducted several seminars, workshops, conferences, online tutoring, webinar, and e-content development workshops. Sir has completed MOOC courses from reputed platforms like Coursera, Ellison, Udemy, etc. With this long list of credits, I humbly invite our speaker, Dr. Ajay Kushwaha sir, to deliver the lecture on the topic Understanding Creative Commons Licenses and its Importance. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. I hope I'm audible. Yes. Okay, so first of all, would like to congratulate the entire team of Kamala Nehru Mahavidyalaya Nagpur for organizing a very effective 1-week FDP for ICT tools for effective teaching. Before we start, I really like to thank the entire team, including Dr. Gurnule sir, a convener for FDP, Dr. Badwaik sir, principal of Kamala Nehru Mahavidyalaya Nagpur, Honorable Smita Manjari ma'am, treasurer, Honorable Dr. S.R. Thakre sir, joint director, Higher Education Nagpur, Honorable Advocate Abhijit Banjari sir, MLC and Secretary for Amar Seva Mandal Nagpur, and Professor P.V. Dahikar sir, Vice Principal for Kamala Nehru Mahavidyalaya, for organizing such a wonderful platform where we have seen that we are fortunate to see consistent 500 participants in this entire FDP which is going on, and I hope there are more in the live session also. So when we have listened to our convener and from principal to our respected Bhuvnesh sir, our guest of honor, we have already understood that one important thing, that what is the major shift happen in the technology or in the education domain, what we are talking is the entire shift has been taken from the traditional educational systems to the new system, where we are more into the practice of how the ICT tool can be helpful for making our teaching more effective. I'm very happy and delighted to tell you that I was there for the another FDP which was conducted a few months back, and when we are here now, we are coming with I personally thought that we should come with a very interesting topic called as CC licensing, because many are there who have a issue, who always have a question, even if it is a teacher or even if they are typically basically any person like a student or anyone who want to basically create a content, what are the things are important for it. So when it comes to CC licensing or something, we have to understand why it is important. And when we understand the part, we have to understand that what are the importance of it. So when it comes to the common creative licenses, the thing is that whatever content you are creating, either you are creating the content basically for your class, basically for your lectures, or even when you are going to create any content which you are supposed to deliver, or you want to go and create a video or any content for any online media, we have to be very much careful and understand that how these things are working. So that is what I feel, that when you basically learn any kind of ICT tools, whenever we're creating a small PPT or presentations, it is very, very important for every one of you to understand this importance. Now, there is always a question in your mind that what is the meaning of copyright, what is the meaning of copyleft, and other different terminologies which we will try to understand. And in this session, we will also try to make sure that how to do that. For example, if you can see this illustration, you will find that a simple definition or something which has been given that will actually tell you that, okay, if suppose a content is created, how I can ensure that this particular content is basically mine, or what kind of things has to be put on. So question comes that if I'm presenting certain things, if you find some important content on the internet, there will be always a question that how I can go and use. Is it usable? Do I have to take a special care into it? That we all are actually going to talk about. So Common Creative is basically an open initiative. It's a very hard work and tremendous work has been done by the entire team of CC, that is called as Common Creative, where their slogan is share your work, use and remix. So the idea of knowledge, idea of content or data is somewhere when we feel that there are divide into things. One where we are paying for certain contents, one where we are not paying for certain contents. So the contents are already divided. So we might be not sure that whether a particular image, whether a particular video, or whether a particular content is available, is it usable or not. In a research, when we are doing a research, when our faculties or students are doing a research, we basically call it as a plagiarism. In the same way, when it comes to a content in the digital media, either it could be video, audio, or any of the content, when you are using, are you eligible, are you permissible to do or not? That is what something we will try to understand in the entire hour of the session. So let's move on. So when it comes, ma'am has already given the brief introduction, so there is no need for introduction. So let's move on it. So when you see certain kind of news coming into picture, recently we have seen that due to the data theft or the data was piracy issue of the customers and all, India government has banned almost more than 59 apps. Actually, there is a revise where more than 100 apps were banned. So it includes TikTok and other very popular apps which were actually using the important data from their phone. When it comes to copyright, when it comes to a very famous, we all know that many people are using, basically they are typically using the content. Like for example, if suppose I am a content creator, there are many people who are creating the content for YouTube and all. At that time also, they basically requires to share the content. In that case also, if you are using some copyright material which is not permissible, or whether you have not taken a proper permission, you may get copy strikes into it. We have to be very cautious. We have to be very much serious about it, that why we have to be in certainly when we are using a content, we should be very much what we called cautious about it. So whenever you use a certain content, you must be able to give the proper credit from where you are using into it, right? So very famous news, WhatsApp also have, we might have seen some news which was floating few months back, that the WhatsApp is using the content. Now they are going to publicize, they're going to sell our data, information, mobile numbers. If that is the case, then WhatsApp comes up with the clarity that, okay, we basically respect the privacy and protect our data customer. So there is a huge impact onto it. So we are basically talking about it. If you get any kind of notifications whenever you are doing a content creation for your PPT, whenever you are going to create a content or video content for YouTube, you have to be very cautious what kind of images, what are the things that you are going to use. Even if I'm using a small image or music or something, we may get a copy strike. So that is very, very important. And when it comes, the legal issues plays into a part. So I feel that this is going to be an important aspect whenever we are creating the our open educational resources, that is the OER, or whether we are going to create any content for our lectures, online delivery or something, we must be very cautious onto it. Let's move on and try to understand what actually things. We always know that people often say, even we say that picture is a word 1,000 words, of course, because when you see any pictorial, we basically go and remember the things more. Sometimes a well-made video is worth 1,000,000 words than some. Yes, of course. And the true and the best example is your YouTube. Nowadays, whenever we want to search something, we first prefer not to go on the Google search and search for some content. Rather than when we are even searching on the Google, we first go and click on either as an image or as a video. Or simply people directly search their queries in the YouTube and they get the relevant information. So understand how the information from the traditional only the content, that is the text media, has transformed from the image, and from image now we are more what we called very much informative, getting learning from the videos as well. So if that is the case, yes, let's try to understand. A small video is available for it, that is Common Creative License. We first see the small video and then try to grab it, what actually it is going to talk about. So I'm just going to play a very short video. I hope you all will understand what actually it is, and you will understand the entire landscape that, okay, what I'm talking about and how we are going to achieve that part. So I hope audio and video will be clear for you.
When you share your creativity, you're enabling people anywhere to use it, learn from it, and be inspired by it. Take the teacher who shapes young minds with work and wisdom from around the globe, and the artist who builds beauty out of bits and pieces she finds online, and the writer whose stories use ideas and images crafted by people you've never even met. These people know that when you share your creative wealth, you can accomplish great things. They and millions of other people all around the planet are working together to build a richer, better, more vibrant culture using Creative Commons. To understand Creative Commons, you need to know a little bit about how copyright works. Did you know that when you create something, anything, from a photograph to a song to a drawing to a film to a story, you automatically own an all rights reserved copyright to that creativity? It's true. Copyright protects your creativity against uses you don't consent to. But sometimes full copyright is too restrictive. What about when you want all those millions and millions of people out there to use your work without the hassle of coming to you for permission? What if you want your work to be freely shared, reused, and built upon by the rest of the world? Luckily, there's an answer. Creative Commons. We provide free copyright licenses you can use to tell people exactly which parts of your copyright you're happy to give to the public. It's easy. It only takes a minute and it's totally free. Just come to our website and answer a few quick questions like, will you allow commercial uses of your work? And will you allow your work to be modified? Based on your answers, we'll give you a license that clearly communicates what people can and can't do with your creativity. You don't give up your copyright. You refine it so it works better for you. Welcome to a new world where collaboration rules. It didn't even exist just a few years ago. But now there are millions and millions of songs, pictures, videos, and written works available to share, reuse, and remix, all for free. Want to work together? Then join the Commons, Creative Commons.
Okay, so basically the video is not about doing the advertisement, but also to tell you that how basically the work has to be done. So those who have actually heard the video very carefully, they might have come to know that whatever work you are creating, whatever content you are creating, the content which you are creating with the help of any other content which is existingly available, we have to make sure whether the content is usable or not. So we all know about the copyright. Copyright is something which whether you do or not, it automatically happens. For example, if someone writes a book, automatically when a publisher publish, there is a copyright for it. If you do some work, automatically copyright comes. You might be surprised to know that even if you're uploading a video on the YouTube of your own channel, automatically you strike with the copyright, a standard YouTube license. I guess rather than saying, if I can show you all, it will be very helpful for you to understand. So let me just toggle to my page. I hope you all are able to see my screen, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so if any questions are there, please come. So imagine this is my YouTube channel, and whenever I'm in my channel, whenever I create a video, when I write certain content, when you go down, you will find some kind of questions asked by the YouTube, like whether your video is for kids or not. Because if you made a kid, means it's a age restrictions. So for example, if it is made for kid, it would be basically a cartoon or something educational content for the kids. So that specifies. When you go, whether you are doing any paid promotions for any kind of product, then you have to tick on it. Most importantly, when you go over here, you will find something interesting called as licensing. So learn about the license type. So whenever you are creating by default, you basically obey to the YouTube standard license. So basically this license is actually protect your entire work as your own, and it doesn't allow you to use this without your permission. But imagine just now the video what was explaining that if I have done something, if I want some people to use it, why should not I go and simply say that, okay, this is what my content, use it, no issue. I will not ask anything. I will not ask any kind of copy strike or nothing. So you can use, but how to tell it? There are millions of people who might be watching your video, who might be seeing the content, but how they come to know that whether I should use or not? Because we have seen recently, there are many cases happened with the PhDs, content, citation part, properly not doing that work. And when it comes to the content also, it becomes very, very important that if it is not your content, someone may come and say that, hey, you have used my work, it is not permitted. That's what. So there is an option available here, Creative Commons Attribution. So for example, let's assume that whatever today video is created, and if video is informative, if I want that my users, anyone who is using, who can just go and use this video without any kind of things, then I can go and simply click on this part. Automatically video become the common creative. It becomes a common license which can be used. Now there is a question always will be there, sir, if you're saying like that, does it means copy left? Yes, it can be a copy left, but there is some kind of discretions into it. That is what we are going to talk for today. So let's come back to the presentation very quickly. Now, if you see this picture, you will be able to see that, for example, let's assume that I'm going to create a picture. Okay, sorry, I'm going to use a picture for my presentation. Imagine this picture. Now question comes that, sir, can I use this picture or not? If that is the case, if I just want to zoom, you see there are a lot of decisions has to be taken. Now question comes, did you take your own picture? Is it your own picture which you have taken? If it is yes, whether it is taken and it was your original idea, and if it is yes, of course you can use it. You don't have to ask anyone. For example, if I have clicked a picture which is actually permitted for me to go and click on it, then I can use anywhere. I don't have to ask anyone because it was mine. But imagine if someone pictures whose idea is different, and even if you have clicked, then you have to go and check whether you are permitted or not. In that way, there are a lot of different kind of attributions comes where laws plays the role. ethics plays the role, and the copyrighted images plays the role. So this is how basically we have to take a decision. Imagine I will take one more question. For example, no, you have not created the picture. Now the question comes that there is a option. It means that the picture which you want to use is copyrighted. Now there is an option. Ask yourself the fair use question. Now fair use is a policy. Fair use means what? Means I will use the particular content which is defined by the owner, that okay, if you want to use it, this is what my fair use. For example, let's assume that I created this particular image, and if you want to use it, I will say that okay, if you want to use it only for the personal work. It means what? If you are using for personal, it's fine. But the moment you're trying to do commercialize even in the YouTube also, it becomes a violation of my particular rule, and then you will be into the trouble of using that. Okay, so fair use policies may include personal, non-profit, educational, research, and so on. And if my personal says that, oh yes, this is a personal use, then of course you can use on it. There are various different attribution that we are going to talk. But moreover, when it comes to the licensing and all, please try to understand very important things. Number one, copyright. The moment copyright comes, either it is an image, either it is in video, audio, or even any of the books you have written, it means that all things are copyrighted by the publisher. Now the question comes, sir, why it is publisher, not the author? Because whenever we are publishing, we are giving the copyright to the publisher to do it and to sell it. Okay, next. Now the question comes, the second spectrum will be fair use. Fair use is basically where you will basically tell that a fair use rule mostly says that if you are using for personal work, research work, or any educational purpose, it is allowed to you. In that case also, sometimes you may don't have to even go and acknowledge and acknowledge or even say thanks to the author that you are using, because it comes under the fair use policy. Now the question what we are going to talk here about the Creative Commons. Now Creative Commons is something which will give a lot of different categories of licenses that you will create. And very sure it's a very easy process, as it was discussed in the video, that within a fraction of seconds or a minute, we will create our own licenses, which we can easily go and attach to any of the document, and we can send it across it. Even if you want to use for your video, simply create the license, paste the license. It will easily able to get understood by the users whether that has been used or not. Next comes under the public domain. So images, those who don't have any kind of copyright vertical restrictions, because they are willingly created for basically use. So that comes under the domain. There might be chances that some of the content may be having the copyright content, that you have to verify on it. I hope you are able to understand. So the basic, if I say the spectrum of rights, I can say that one comes under the copyright, that is all rights are reserved. Second comes under the Creative Commons. Now here Creative Commons here suddenly means that some rights are reserved, some rights are open, or fully open means copy left. And last, where we have the public domain, that is no rights are reserved. It's a completely copy left part. Okay, so let's understand this part. So there is another video I will have you even it, but let's try to understand what is the power of licensing. So when it comes to licensing, people feel that, oh, I have to pay the money, I have to go and do a lot of different documentation and all, but nothing you have to do when it comes to common creative license. For example, let's take a very simple and straightforward example. You want to publish a paper. What happens? A publisher or a journal will ask you for the copyright form. And in that copyright form, you will simply clearly mention that I am the owner of the particular title paper, and I'm transferring rights to the XYZ journal so that they can publish, they can sell, and they can earn money. If there is some agreement like royalty and all, that can be shared with you. That is one aspect of copyright. Comes to the copyleft. Now, even for example, my intention is that whatever I have created today, it should be used by everyone. But there may be a problem that people may be thinking whether I should use or not, what part can I use, whether it is basically an whole or something I have to ask the permission at that time. If you want to simplify this entire process, please ensure to have a common creative licensing. As I have already told, it's a very easy part. you can simply go to the website. I will tell the demo. In this FDP, I will also share you how you can use and create on it, and then you can do. So free and easy to use, of course, as I have already discussed. Simple and standardized way to share and use the creative works. That's very important. Now there is a vice versa. For example, now question comes that, sir, when I go to the Google, I search for the image, I get the image, I pasted it, and I'm using it. Is it all done? No, nothing. Because when we are using, do you know whether the image is copyrighted or not? Nowadays, when you go to the any kind of Google and all, you will find that there is an exclamation warning sign might be there. That image might be copyrighted. You have to ensure whether I can go and use or not. So that is very, very important. Now the question comes, okay, let's assume that I want to go and create my own video or all. Now, how I come to know that whether that particular video or the image is usable or not? For that, if the author has explicitly mentioned that this works comes under the Creative Commons, where you have these all the rights which you can go and use and you don't have to bother about. If that is the case, it simplifies. It becomes simple and very standardized. And that is what the work done by the Common Creative to ensure that the confusion among usage or non-usage will be eliminated as much as possible. That is what there. And that is what we are today as a teachers, because almost we are very happy that almost many teachers are joined here. So they will understand that why we are talking about the Common Creative. As a creator, you choose the condition. Of course, suppose if you are a creator, you will choose a condition. For example, you have created the content for some educational purpose, but you don't want to make it commercialized because you have done for free and you want the others to only use your content when they are doing for non-profit work. That is your condition. If you feel that I don't have any problem, if you want to commercialize, go and commercialize, then you can choose the same license what you want. That is your condition. As a user, the intended use is clear. Now that is very, very important. No need to get permissions, just provide the attribution. Now there is one column. I guess if you are able to see this first icon, I'm not able to do the citation. I don't know. I'm not able to make, okay, let me try if I can do. Yeah. So if you see this particular attribute, this is called as attribution, where you will simply specify that whenever you are using my work, if you get some kind of icon like this in any of the license, you will simply understand that author is saying that go and use, no problem, but mention my name, just like a citation, what we do in our research work. Okay. So this is the very simple thing that we have talked and we will try to do on it. So I hope everyone is able to understand what is going on. If any questions, please put your questions. I will be very happy to make a note on it. So it will go into the discussion what that is there. Now come and see the connection. Actually, we all mostly talks about the OCR content. Okay. Now, sorry, OER content, that is open educational resource, how has to be made. And there might be a confusion that, okay, what are the various things that we have to make sure, what are the things that we have to very much ensure when you are basically talking about. So when you see this particular diagram, you will basically find, let me take a pen. Okay. Yeah. So if you see this particular area, these are called as least free. I will explain each and every one what is this Common Creative called as, but this is basically a thing where it can't consider under the open educational resource. So any kind of thing which doesn't come under the open educational resources means that you can't go and use for your OER content creations, whether you are doing into 4 quadrant and all. So when you want to basically do, you have to go and see the licenses which are in this typical domain. So we will go and talk about what is basically a public domain, which is completely free. There is no copyright, nothing. There is an attribution part where you have to give the citation. There is essay, that is again, there is another condition is there. Then we will see NC for non-commercialization. Then we will see other buy and all. If you're seeing this kind of license, you will understand that whenever you want to use a particular content and when you see this kind of license type, you will understand that, okay, this particular attribution is basically to ensure that author only want to make the attribution or author wants actually not to do commercialization and so on. based on the different conditions that we are going to see earlier. Next. Okay. So now question comes, when your work is protected. Now, if I ask the question, because I think that when you go after this particular FDP session, you must be able to understand that what is the meaning of protection, what is protected, what is unprotected, what you do have to do willingly protection or not, that is there. So keep a questions in your mind and try to understand what are there. So when it talks protected means, simply it comes that copyright is automatically created when a person create a copyrightable work. That could be anything. It could be software, it could be your book writing, any kind of musical instrument work, any kind of artistic instrumental songs, artistic works, even in the books, automatically your basically work get protected. So knowingly or unknowingly, if you are an author, if you are author for any kind of book and chapter, you may not know, but you automatically get protected. If you want to see, just go and see the proceeding, go and see the first page of it. You will see the copyright signal and all right are reserved is mentioned. If that is mentioned means you have to be rest assured that your work is protected. And when it is protected, if anything goes wrong, the action will be taken accordingly and the law plays according to the rules which has been set or the particular copyright conditions which has been made. This is one part of it. Okay, next. Now the question comes, yes, I have already said that you don't need to register for an original work which has been already copyrighted. You don't have to go and do on it. Now, what is the problem? Sir, if everything is protected, then why I have to ensure about the CC then? Now the question comes in your mind and that should be there. If I talk about the CC is little bit different about the protection, like copyright. Why? Because when you do copyright, you don't leave any kind of space for any kind of usage unless it is having the explicit written permission from the publisher. Remember that part. Now what happened if I talk about the ethical world? Let's assume that everyone is ethical, no one is doing any kind of piracy or any kind of thing. No one will go and use your work unless he finds that your work has very important. He can't go and he will die if he's not using that. In that case only, he will go and write a letter to the publisher and do that. Apart from that, many people who even like will not going to use. Now, what is your purpose? Now, if suppose I really feel that my work should be used, people will not be able to use on it because of the copyright issue. So there is always, you have to think when you want to make sure that yes, my work has to be used, then you must have to go and use the CC licensing and all. I guess everyone understand. Of course, you all must keep the questions in your mind and you must be having the questions and you must be able to prove on it that what actually this part talks about. Sorry. So question is, what common creative license should I use? That is also very important. And if that is the case, just go and see your work, decide, and based on the different categories of license you can use which suits your need. For example, I will simply say one simple word. Imagine I want to say that I want to make sure that everyone go and use my work, reuse it, modify the content, but they must give the citation to me. At that time, they must have to use this CC licensing, that is attribution part. Okay. If suppose I feel that my work which is there, they want to do the citation, but also one more important thing, that they must also don't do commercialization. Then what I will do, I will add attribution plus the non-commercial part, so that it will give the clear instruction to the user that this particular author of the content is very clear to say that you can use my work by giving the proper attribution to me as an author. Secondly, even if you're using, you are not supposed to do for any kind of commercial activity. Now, if these kind of things, if you make very clear, what happens? It gives a very clear idea and you don't have to go and write the mails, reply to the mails. People will understand and they will be having a very clear part. So that is how the common creative license comes into picture, which is basically bridging the gap between the copyright and the copyleft part, which is available in the public domain and which is very much preserved for it. Okay, now question, is all the YouTubes are comes under the CC licensing? If that is the question, you all might have got the answer. No. By default, all the YouTubes comes under the YouTube standard license. That is again a kind of what we can say a simple copyrighted material. So if that has to be done, because I have shown one also demo also one particular image in the news, that if someone is using the another video or any content, his account will get freezed or he may get warnings from the YouTube also saying that you have violated the rules and you have used this image. Don't worry, for the first time YouTube also gives the chance to remove the particular content so that your particular work should not be affected and you will be saved from the any kind of legal action taken. It's very serious. We never know that a small image can create a huge impact. There might be a loss of your reputation, that is of course is there. Second, you may have to pay a very bulky amount in compensation part, or also the legal cases may be run under you. Okay, now next there is a question. Wikipedia, we are very much fond of going to the content search and seeing under it. So most of the content in the Wikipedia comes under the CC licensing. It means that yes, you can go and use. The only thing is that don't forget to do the proper citation. We will also go and talk about the CC2 licensing. It is basically a licensing where when you use the attribution, you will get the CC license. 2.0 is basically a version. There is an upgraded part of it. Is Flickr under the CC license? We all might not be aware, but there are, Flickr is just like Google Photos, or you can say the Pixeler and all, where we get under the CC licensing. Some of the content might be having the protection in the sense they may ask you for some things, like for example, they may ask you for money, they may ask you for kind of attribution, or either they will say that there is nothing free for you, you have to simply go and use on it. Now question, what is the most restrictive copyright licensing? There is very most is 100% copyrighted. There is no permission is available that you can go. Is common creative license is free? If that is the question, then we have to go and see, yes, common creative license copyright is 100% free. You don't have to pay any single penny to the organization who is providing this license opportunity. There are various different attributes are there, which we are going to talk in the upcoming slides. And we will say one more important question. Now, if you have a question in your mind, sir, what is your actually opinion that if I'm using CC, is it going to replace the entire copyright? No, not at all. See, the concern is that when you are restricted with the copyright, when you are not having any concerns whether my work has to be used by everyone, then you don't have to deal with any kind of common creative. But just go and think that you are a user, and if you want to use XYZ person's images, how very much difficult for you to go and communicate via email, getting the responses, asking the permission, writing all these things. In order to avoid that, common creative comes into picture. So it is not only for the creator, but it is for all the million of the users who basically also want to use it. Why to use, if that is the question? Because they are doing something. So when we talk about collaborative work, when we talk about expanding my work, when we talk about sharing my work and research, we must have to obey this kind of laws. I hope, because many of the sessions when we take, we don't get any questions. So that's why I have put the question just for you all guys to just go and click and see yourself that what are these aspects are there. And when you come across all, you will be having a very good idea that what basically common creative license gives us the freedom and an opportunity to decide as an author and to think before use as a user whether I should go and use or not. Okay, so I have talked a lot. Let's go and have us almost 2 or 2.5 minutes of the video to understand how licensing can be made easy. See, You can say that why I'm using this video again, I'm given the credit. So always remember, whenever you are using for educational purpose and you are using, don't forget to give the credits. If you see my slide also, every slide is having the credit part, so that it will ensure if anyone, the complete, this video is created by the common creative, they will see, they will get more happy that the person has used, plus he has also mentioned that from where he is using. So whenever a person creates any kind of content, and when it is in the open domain, it is basically to make sure that it is reaching multiple people. And creating a duplicate content and explaining the same concept is not a good idea every time. So whenever you use a content, you should respect onto it. So that's why, rather than creating, I'm just sharing this content. Hope it will give the more insight to you. Just please watch and try to understand what actually licensing can be made easy from the common creative.
Creative Commons provides free, easy-to-use copyright licenses, which offer a simple and standardized way to give the public permission to share and use your creative work under the conditions of your choice. Publishing under a Creative Commons license is easy. First, choose the conditions under which you want others to be able to use your creative work. Under the Attribution license, you let others copy and redistribute your work in any medium or format, and remix, transform, and build upon the material for any purpose, even commercially.
Now, sorry, I may interrupt into it, because I want to correlate that what I have just told you is actually what I am talking about. So just I have told you about the attribution which I have used over here. Okay. So here what happened, if you're using this attribution, in this case, you have never mentioned like you are going to use for commercial or not. In that case, any person with this simple license can use and commercialize. But the only thing is that he must have to go and give the proper credit to the original author. I guess everyone understood that. Okay. And how to do, don't worry. Please be with us. We will definitely share how to create a very simple common creative license into it. Sorry. Okay.
Creative Commons licenses the public permitted voice. Publish to be able to use your creative work and redistribute your work in any medium or format, and remix, transform, and build upon the material for any purpose, even commercially. But they must give proper credit to you, the original author. With a non-commercial license, you let others copy, remix, and redistribute your work, but for non-commercial purposes only.
I guess everyone understand non-commercial. So the moment if I use any kind of notation, automatically it will not allow me to go back and I have to reload it. So I guess everyone understand what is non-commercial. So the question comes that, okay, what happen if I want to apply more than one condition like attribution and non-commercial? Yes, you can do that. You can simply have to write CC. I will tell you how to create. It will definitely give a very good feeling that rather than just confusing your mind, you can simply go and do that. Non-commercial, I hope everyone understand. This is a $sign for it.
Only. No derivatives indicates that you let others copy and redistribute only original copies of your work. If they want to modify or remix it, they must get your permission first.
Sorry. There is a problem. I'm not able to play video properly. So just a minute. Yeah, no derivatives. Now the question comes here is that now there is a problem. For example, you have done some wonderful research and you want to share your ideas. You want to make the people use and redistribute among all the people, all their friends, families, and all. But in this case, you have one condition that whatever I have done, it should be original only. Let's take a very simple example, very lucrative example. For example, you have done a very creative artwork. Understand, a Mona Lisa of the painting. Now there might be duplicates. People will go and replicate the same because you have given the license only to attribute, and then you can reuse, remodify. But you don't want to do that. In that case, you can simply go and use non-derivatives. That is, this particular symbol will tell that you have ensure that you can make multiple copies, but you can redistribute it, but you just can't go and modify it. That's very, very important.
With a share alike license, you let others copy, remix, and redistribute your work, but only under a Creative Commons license identical to that under which yours was published.
Now, this is a very interesting part. Share alike is something where you allowed to do anything, but you have to publish the same license which was originally published by the author. So you can't go and say that I will just change the attribution. I will make now, for example, assume that one person has given the entire only for attribution. So you will mention the name, but you are changing it and you are changing the license type. For example, now you will add non-commercial to commercial or commercial and all. But in this, if this particular symbols comes in place, you are not allowed to change it, the license type into it. Okay, that is share alike.
By combining these licensing options, you will get a Creative Commons license that clearly defines how others may use your creative work.
Sorry, again, I am not able to play, but anyway, I hope you all understand what is the theme of the particular target. So if you see this particular, this diagram, it actually go and clearly state that, for example, if I want to apply more than one or two different, what we call the conditions, I can definitely go and do on it. And when you see the
various combinations will allow others more or less freedom to use your work.
I hope you all are aware about this particular diagram, more freedom to less freedom. So when you see the attribution, you have much of the freedom, share alike, then non-derivative, non-commercial, share alike, and all. These are all the different combinations which can you put together and you make sure that your work is going to get published. So I guess everyone was able to understand what we are talking about. Yeah, thank you for your wonderful comments. So let's go and talk. Now question comes, okay, I have already explained what does a common license, CC license means. Yes, it is a license which are actually used for public licensing. So basically when it comes to CC, you must have a clear mind that something the person is talking about, which is going to be have less restrictions compared to the copyright material. Okay, you can use them to indicate whether the people are allowed to do on their work, different types of attribution, different type of permissions can be given. And of course, CC BY is the most open license for the entire part of it. If I say like that, if you get anything by CC BY, it means it is a very open, you can go and use. So there are a lot of different conditions that you can go and use, and you can definitely do on it. Now questions comes, what are the very key elements? I have already discussed. So just a very brush up. If you see BY, CC BY is basically a name for the particular icon, that is for attribution. So whenever you get BY, you understand that this is a free work. I can go and reuse, modify, distribute, and do anything about it. The only thing is that you have to give the proper credit to the person. Okay, ND, non-derivative. SA is for share alike. NC is for non-commercial. Okay, next. Now, types of licenses we have already seen, and we have also understand the different combinations. Because if you are a content creator, I may never know that what kind of basic attribution you want to go and give. Imagine that, okay, I want to use all this. See here, you see at the last, CC licensing, BY is for giving the citation, NC is for non-commercialization, and ND is for non-derivative. Means whatever is there, I will apply and I will ensure. So there is a restriction, there is an allowance, and there is a non-commercialization. I can combine and I can ensure. So at this stage, I understand, I personally feel that everyone understand what are the different types and categories of licenses. There are not only 4 types, but you can combine and make a multiple different type based on your wish and your need to make a license. Now there will be a question coming into your mind, sir, why should I all go and do that work? Now this is something where your ethics comes, your basically thought process comes about the education, about the content creation, because many people are still there who are creating the content for people like us. So thanks to Common Creative who has created the wonderful video which I have played upon you. I've given the proper citations to say that, yes, this is what the video has created by Common Creative. And Common Creative already said that you can go and use all the attributes, everything. You can make your content, nothing worry, because we are only here to ensure that you all guys are able to share your work without any extra effort, without any hesitation. The simple thing, how to generate it, that also we are going to see. Okay. One license type which I have not explained over here, this is this sign, C and all. That is basically comes under the copyleft. Sometimes it is also called as a public domain license. So here, if you see, you will understand that, sir, this is one of the best thing that I have come across. Yes, because in this case, anything which is available in the public domain, and if it is specified with this particular license attribute, you can anytime go and copy it. You don't have to give any kind of attribution. Means author is not even expecting that you should go and cite his work. That is very, very important. You can use for commercial, you can modify and adapt, and you can change the license type also. Now see things, how drastically there is a difference between copyright and copyleft. I guess everyone understand. In copyright, there is no possibility for you. See all this process. When it comes to public domain, everything is available for you. Now, Common Creative has given you the various set of permissions. See here, if you are using by CC, the only one thing changes that you have to give the attribution. Rest all is just like the copyleft part. When you see share alike, that is essay, the only thing is that you can't go and change the license type. I hope I have just explained earlier. You all might have understood. Next, when it comes to ND, here C, and when you see this $sign, here there is no option to change. Sorry, I think this sign is wrong. It comes to this sign. Sorry, in that part, see this one. It means that you don't have an option to modify it. There is a mistake. It should come down. So I will just make this arrow. Pardon for that. And when you see this kind of $sign, it means that there is no commercial use. See this part. Okay. So it happens when the image is there, and it certainly goes. When you see this particular 3 license, now there are 3 licenses are combined. This is attribution, this is non-commercial, this is for share alike. So what is happening over here? See here, attribution means you have to give the attribution. You can't use for commercial, and you can't change the license type. This is somewhere where you have protected yourself and where you have also asked the people to use it. Okay, this is one of the favorite and least used. Why? Because most of the time, whenever you are basically want to restrict almost modification and commercial use, you can use this license type, CC by NC and ND, where you have allowed the users to copy and publish. No worries. You have also said that whenever you're publishing, make sure that you are giving my attribution. It means that indirectly your work is recognized by every user to whom he is sharing. Actually, it all talks about the networking part. So when it comes to the networking, what happens? The thing is that, for example, I have 100 people connection. A person who is having 2000 people of connection, if he is using your work and he is giving the citation, all the remaining 2000 people will know you. That's what a power of sharing comes over picture. But you have very clearly specified that you are not allowed to commercialize it. It means that if he makes anything, he can't sell. He can't go and do the what we call the benefit for it, monetary benefit. Now, somewhere you don't want to modify also. For example, you have published one architecture diagram or something which you have created. You have given the permission to use, but you have not given the permission to modify. And here he can go and change the type also. This is what all the ways by which you can use this kind of CC licensing part. I hope everyone is able to understand what is the grip of the content. Now, again, a very interesting diagram again created. See, if you are able to see this picture, there is something very interesting for you all. I will just highlight to try to understand. I'm using the laser, okay? So when you see this picture, this work has been done by a person, okay? Now you see here, there is a mentioned license. What is that? By attribution. Can you please tell me I have given the attribution to the particular work? Yes, because this is the person, Valchi, this is the person, that is Barbara and Joran. They have made this particular image. Okay. Second, essay, share alike. I have not changed his license type. Whatever the license type was created by this person, the same has been shared. But I was allowed to use and to show to you. Even if I share with you, you can go and copy and use it. That's what the power. Okay. So now let's go and try to understand what actually it means. For example, imagine, let's come to the decision. You have to take a decision. Okay. Now, many others copy and redistribute the material in any form and medium. Now, this particular indicates this is the railway, you can say engine or all. But when you are going on that particular path, you have to take a decision. Number one, whether you really want your work to be used. If that is the case, please say yes. If you say no, there is no need of CC licensing for you. You can simply publish, no one will use your work. But you are with the different view and opinion, yes, I want to use it, then go, and here a decision comes. Do you allow the adaptation of your work to be shared? If you say yes, automatically what happened? The entire work can be easily shared without any restriction. If you want to give, it depends, there is an option. Do you want to allow them for commercialization? If you say yes, there is essay will come. If you say no, there is non-commercialization will come. I hope you are able to understand when I talk about this particular graphical representation, what I mean to say that this is all your thought process, your willingness, how basically you want to make a use of the particular work by the other people. Okay. So we are actually moving in this entire content. I hope everyone is able to try to understand. So next part, yes. Now very interesting questions. What does a CC licensing allows you to do? I have already told, let's again recap. Every common creative license allows the creator to retain the copyright, whilst allowing others to copy, distribute, and make the use for non-commercial. Now people will ask me, sir, if I do the CC, it means that I don't have any right on it. No, because you have the different type of licensing, you have a 100% opportunity and the rights to define how your work is going to be shared. Okay, so no need to worry about it. Sir, this is going to drastically change the entire scenario. My work will be gone, nothing like that. But it will, moreover, my perspective of using the CC will be, it will be moreover shared among many people. I hope all the people, all the researchers, all the faculties are very much keen and observing that I want citations. Now people are more striving towards citations to make sure that my work is going to maximum people. They are reaching to the many people and they are citing their works. For that, we are very much fond. We ask our friends to do the citation. We ask our research scholars, spread the news. We share our papers via various different mediums under the proper permissions with the author. We use ResearchGate and various different platforms to ensure that my work is getting viewed by multiple people. In the same context, CC licensing is not going to damage your reputation or make the entire work free, but it allows you as a teacher, you as a researcher, and you as a student to explore and get a maximum opportunity that your work is viewed by the others. That is very important. Common creative license ensures the creator to get recognition. That's what I was just telling about you. Credit of the work to produce and share. Because I'm very sure, I'm very confident into saying the word that if you feel that I want to work into isolation, I guess you are not doing any productive work. My opinion, pardon if anyone have any issues. If you want to go, you have to opt for the people who are there, who are getting recognized, who are actually, sorry, not getting recognized, who are actually recognizing your work when you share the work in the public. For that reason, blogs are very important. For that reason, GitHub is there. You might be surprised, almost all kind of apps, every kind of programming codes, everything is available on GitHub. Why? Because people want that, okay, go and use it. It's free. You can use and reproduce. You can modify it. You can distribute. You can share. In that way, the knowledge is getting more and more reached to the almost every people without any kind of hesitation. So that is all the work. All the Creative Commons license can be utilized worldwide. And last, if applicable, copyright last, of course. So the concept, so the idea of doing the copywriting is something where you are entirely restricting yourself as an author not to share your work. That's why most of the time you might get certain kind of feelings. So some people say that always publish your work into open access. Why? Because people don't have to pay the subscription fees to see your work. Unless the people will see your work, how they will recognize you, how they will cite you. And if it is not cited, it means that your research is not getting more viewed by them. Same happen with everywhere. If you talk about video, if you talk about images and so on. You might be surprised to see when you go to the picture size. I will tell you, there are some websites also. When you go there, there will be a posting that, okay, you can use my video, you can edit and do. You will find a lot of number of views are there for them. If you see some pictures, they are freely usable. You will find many people are using them. If many people are using, if many people are doing, it means, it ensures that you basically have done some remarkable work. I guess everyone is able to understand. Yeah. Now question comes, okay, what are the various different options from where I can go and get the Creative Commons? So very popular, common creative search. Don't worry, I'm sharing. I hope my screen is able to share with all. So this is the website for all. I am just sharing the link with all of you so that you can simply go and you can just type it. You can get, I'm just sharing it, sorry. So this is Openverse. We now are seeing the metaverse, right? Facebook turned to metaverse. People are talking a lot about the metaverse, a digital world and all. We have the Openverse. Browse through over 600 million items to reuse. Very good. Go and search. When you are there here, you don't have to bother about the licensing. All the licenses are somewhere usable by you. So I'm just performing this live demo in front of you. Let's see what is populating in my screen. Okay, it's taking some time. Might be internet issue. My voice is clear. Okay, I guess. See here, all content, images. Okay, something wrong, but when you click, you will get all kind of informations into it. I'm worried why it is not coming. Just a minute. Okay, so internet was not active in that case. So if I write here computer, if I click, okay, some result should come. I don't know what happened. Sometimes site might be down, something. Okay, comes. Wonderful. So the question comes, if you see all this kind of things, if you want it for your presentation, see there is a music. You can use the music. I don't know what the music is. If you want to use image, you can use. If you find some wave that is image file, video file, all this thing you can go and search. And when you click on certain particular image, see here you are getting the license type, CC, attribute, and copyleft. Go to that, you will find the particular thing. Credit, you have to give the attribution. You can share same license, you have to use it. In that way, if I use it, I just have to mention this particular credit. I have to give the credit to the author. That's why. If you want to credit it, see here. How to copy the credit? This is also mentioned. You can simply copy this and you can mention into the credit part. It becomes, so whenever this person checks, Alexander also check this in your particular content, he will not hesitate to say that Wonderful, you have done. You don't have to worry about it. So in this way, this particular website is very, very popular and very useful for all of you to use on it. This is one. Okay. There is another one. The certain websites are available. I have just shown to you. You're using YouTube. Yes, you can do that. In many other, what we call the FDPs, we have talked about some other content creators who create for like educational evaluation and all. That also can be go and use for it. You don't have to worry on. Okay. So these are all the certain websites. Photopin is there where you can go and search for the items. Let me search for you if I can. See, if you find, you will find most of it for free licensing photos and all. If you want, I will just share you the particular website link that you can go and copy. Okay, Photopin. Yeah, you can use that Photopin. So basically, it's under the website. I will share the exact link to you that you can go and use this one. Okay, so why I'm sharing, because we every day, almost every teaching, we have to go and create the contents. So rather than getting into confusion, we can use CC Mixture, again a very popular website that you can go and use. So global music, if somebody want to use the music for their audio video content, if you want to use some kind of events, some kind of like music, those who want the music to use, they can go and dig, they can search for the music's playlist and they can use for their own content creation. Okay. Sorry, next. Okay, there is a community for free legal and unlimited music published under Common Creative. One of the very favorite and popular site that is called as Demando, which is basically used. So you don't have to bother and worry about it. So yes, sharing is caring. Of course, because the intention, the motto of doing it is to ensure that you all are aware. Everyone should be there. So see here, music, if you want music for videos, if you want background musics and all, people struggle if they want to create some video for their YouTube lectures, if they want to play some audio video on some kind of conferences and webinars and all, how they will do that. For that, this is a very wonderful place. I have already shared the link that you all can go and use. So this is one of the sample. I guess I have already explained you. Let's go and see that what happens. Imagine that this is your image. Okay. So now what happened? How you give the licensing? Of course, when you go onto the website, you will get the entire license copied. So see here, Common Creative 10th birthday celebration. It was the birthday celebration done by the Common Creative. That is the team, the organization in the San Francisco. It was organized by this particular picture was clicked by the company Walmer, and it is licensed under the CC by 2. License linked to license deed. Now here you see title with the source page and author link with the profile. When you click on it, you will get the profile link. And this is by. By means whenever you are using this image, you simply have to give thanks to the particular author for this image. So it comes under the attribution by. Okay. So I guess everyone understand about the CC licensing. Copyleft, as I have already said, copyright and copyleft. Copyleft also gives the freedom. The freedom is that freedom to use the work, freedom to study, freedom to copy, share the work, and freedom to modify, and freedom to distribute and their entire work. There are 4 types of freedoms provided under the copyleft. So simply if I say copyleft is something which is just opposite to copyright, that can be said copyleft. There are various items which you don't do the copyright, which even can't be done automatically, then all they comes under the public domain. And even if someone use, you can't go and claim it that this was my work, because you have not mentioned anything, either it is a copyleft or copyright, or even whether it is a CC licensing. So that's it for the today's session. I hope everyone understand. But before I leave, it was my duty that I have promised you to show. So what you have to do, whenever you want to go and create a licensing, a simple website which you have to visit that I'm sharing with you is Common Creatives. So let me share the screen. Okay, I'm already sharing the screen, guys. I'm just sharing the, okay. If I want to create a common creative license, what I have to do? This is the popular website, or this is the website where you will go. Now you have to select the option. You have to click on share your work. Okay. When you click on share your work, you have to choose the license type. Now, since it's simple, what are the different licenses are available? We all know. When you want to get it, how to get the license, click on it. Okay, getting started. Now, when you come, see here, it asks you, your choice on this panel will update the panel. See here, this is the panel it is showing. It is showing the attribution 4.0 international, which is actually called as a free culture license. Now, it's a very interesting concept. Free culture license is a license where you don't restrict any users to modify, commercialize your particular part. Only you want is that, hey guys, XYZ, if you are using, sorry, if you are using my license, please give me the citation, please give me the attribution. That's it. You are not bothered of any other things. So it gives the free culture approved. That is one of the very popular point of attribution, which is now used by many people. Many people are using this, but imagine I am not so much into that I should give everything to modify and all. Then there is an option. Allow the adaptation of your work shared. If you say yes, if you simply say no, see what happens. Your license change. Adaptation will not allowed. Yes, share alike. Then see here, it gives this particular option to it. If you want to not commercialize, see, it will add non-commercialize. This is how the license can be easily created. Now the question comes, if you want to give more information about the license and the attribution, you can fill the form. Like you can write title of work, my image, or something you will write. Attribution, work and name. You can simply write the work name, author name, or something which you like. URL, you can simply go and just type your URL where you want to do. Source URL, permission URL, and other part. Whether the license you want to add into the HTML, PDF files, offline or somewhere, you can click on it. There are multiple formats are there. If you want to use this particular license for audio, video, image, you can select on it. And when you're done, you will be going to get this particular option. Okay, so let me make it like that. It will be easy for you to see. So when you see, you will getting this license type. My image, sorry for the mistake. I've just made just to show you how it looks. See, it comes under the Creative Commons, non-commercial, share alike 4.1 international. And see, it will give the logo like that. See here, it has been there. Now the question comes, okay, sir, how should I copy it? If you're using a website and if you want to copy, simply go, click on copy and paste in your HTML page. The license with this image will automatically appear. If you simply want to just copy it, don't worry, go copy here. Sorry, you have to copy it till this one. Simply go and copy. And if you are using a Word file, image file anywhere, you can simply mention this license and you can paste on it. Let me show, then I will finish up. Okay, it looks interesting. So whatever image you want to is, you can simply paste. That's it. Nothing else has to be done. This is what is required to make your work shared by anyone without any kind of hesitation. That's it for the today's presentation. Hope you liked it. Thank you all for your patient listening. If any questions are there, please let me know. Thank you. Over to the organizers.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us about the Creative Commons licenses and its importance, about the copyrights and how licensing can be made easy, what is copyright and what is copyleft. Now I request the participants, if they have any questions, they can unmute themselves and ask their questions. I can see some questions in the chat box. Just I'm reading those questions. First, from Dr. Deshmukh, is this license is chargeable?
Ma'am, I'm not able to hear you. Your voice is lagging. Sorry.
Is this Creative Commons license is chargeable?
No.
One question from Dr. Deshmukh.
Yeah. Dr. Deshmukh sir, it's 100% free. You don't have to pay anything. In fact, Common Creative Organization only comes to ensure that they provide this free service and they make this standard so that it can be used by anyone. No charges, nothing you have to bear for it. It's 100% free.
Thank you, sir. Then how to create CC licenses for the work?
Yes, I guess just a few seconds back, I have shown you the entire demo where you can go to the site, you can select your attribution, and based on that, the license automatically get created. And you can also copy anywhere. If you are pasting, if you want to paste it into the website, you can simply do, let me share the screen again. See here, just now I have told you that you have to go to this particular website. You have to click on share your work. Then you have to select the attribution, what kind of license you want. When you select on it, you will get this particular option. Number one, if you want to copy it somewhere in your Word file, simply copy and paste into the Word anywhere where you want. If you want to copy this exact license in your website, so those who knows the programming language, HTML and all, they can simply copy and then they can simply create their web pages, which will give this attribution like that. So it's easy that you don't have to worry on it. It can be done automatically. So that is what, it's very simple, very easy, nothing to worry about it, no paid, and it can be done easily. Yes, Rajesh Dubey ji has asked the question, can we use the Wikipedia content free of cost and without fear of any license? Of course, the only thing what I would like to suggest you, the Wikipedia contents are not posted by any Wikipedia organization. It has been posted by the users. So most of the time, you have to re-verify wherever you are using the Wikipedia content, whether it is. I got muted, sorry. So many times what happens, the content might be not correct. So I personally suggest to all the teachers, as a humble request, never use the Wikipedia contents blindly without verifying it, because most of the time content are written by a person, anyone, they can go and modify, and someone who is there in the approval committee, they will approve it. But if you are using, of course you can use, don't forget to mention the citation for it, like Wikipedia page number, source and all, because somewhere or the other, if somebody has a claim, he can say that why you have used. But of course you can use for free, no issue, there is nothing wrong in using, and it is only meant for that only. Yeah, any other question? Okay, one question came, Deepika Soni ma'am, as an artist, is there a copyright system where in whatever the artist created automatically copyrighted, is difficult to get creations getting copyrighted? Of course, Deepika ma'am, if you remember the earlier slide, I have told you there are few particular work which doesn't require a copyright explicitly to be given. So in that cases, whenever you create any artistic work, automatically the work get copyrighted, even if you register or don't register. Let's take in a scenario where your work has been copied by someone else. You can simply go and file the case and you will win the case if you have done that work. So it is copyrighted. Now the question comes here, if you don't want to keep it 100% copyrighted, because if it is copyrighted, no one will able to use it or even share it, then you can go for the CC licensing, where you can decide how my work is going to be shared among the audience or the world. Okay. Roma Katyal, how to proceed if one has included someone else's diagram and the diagram and the data in their own publication? Take the permission, simply cite the original work. Okay, I'm not able to understand the particular thing where you want to include it. I guess that you want to say that if I want to use anyone's diagram in my paperwork, I'm taking a scenario. In that case, number one, if a diagram is under CC licensing, you have to be rest assured you can simply copy, just give the proper attribution and citation. If he asked, if he is not asking for that also, you simply use it. If he says that there is only buy is available, you can edit, modify also. No one is going to complain for it, because the work which is created under it is meant for use, reuse. Now reuse is multiple uses, modify. You can go and modify also, and you can share among others. So you don't have to worry if it is under CC licensing. But many times, I think, Roma, the fact is that most of the time, the licenses are not even disclosed, whether it is copyrighted, whether it is CC, or whether it is undefined. If it is undefined, there is a higher chances that your particular, the image from where you are copying, it should not be from some journal or paper or some book. If it is on the book, means automatically it is protected under copyrighted, so you can't use on it. Okay, then you have to take the permission. But when you are using for educational research work, most of the authors will not mind if you are using their work and you are citing them. So there are a lot of things are going into it. There is a lot of hierarchical decisions you have to make and use the work on. Okay, whether our image video be checked by somebody before issuing the license? No, I don't feel so. See, common creative license only give the direction how the licensing can be done. I'm talking in that perspective. So there is nothing to check on it. For example, if you simply mention and given the particular citation tab and you're writing that this is CC video, you can use and modify, then there is nothing to go and involve any other person to do that. For example, if you are uploading it into the YouTube, then YouTube will take a responsibility to verify, validate whether there is a copy thing or not. If there is something, they will give the copy strike onto it. That is the copy strike warning will be given. If you're uploading into any of the website, then they will give. But if you're doing directly, then I don't feel that you have to worry about it. You use the license, create it and share it. Your work is done from your end. So is there any open source content also? Yes, I have already shared, Anupma ma'am. If you check, I have shared all the website in the chat box. I request the organizers, they can share with you again for that. Okay. Okay, what does IPR means? What is your indication? IPR, whether what is the innovation concept? A very wonderful question. IPR is another concept into it. So whenever there is session, we will talk into it. Yes, it's there. There is a geographical indication is already available into it. And a lot of things are available in the IPR. IPR is something very difficult topic, what we are talking today. But whenever we get a chance, we'll definitely speak on that. Of course, there is a geographical indications are there. IPR can be filed in one country, has to be filed in another. Otherwise, people may use. So there are a lot of rules and regulation regions has been made for that. Okay. So please share the website which is for free licensing. Rajesh Dubiji, I have already shared. You can just ask. Okay, there is something going on. Okay. I guess I have covered all the questions, ma'am. Over to you. If anything is left, let me know.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. You have explained all the things very beautifully, and I hope all the participants are very enlightened by your talk. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Gurnule sir for his concluding remarks. Over to you, Gurnule sir.
Thank you, madam. Just now, Dr. Ajay Kushwaha have given the presentation and spoke on the understanding the Creative Commons license and how it is useful to us, and also these all the researchers have explained very well. As we know, there is just so many questions are there regarding the copyright, IPR, and some other, mainly the copyrights. Whatever we are writing the papers, research paper, or diagrams or picture, so we need the common license. So all these details about the copyright issues, how to take the permissions regarding the books, YouTube sharing, and ethics is also very important in that. So sir, Professor Dr. Ajay Kushwaha have explained in their presentations, and particularly has given the details regarding the Creative Commons licenses. And sir has explained whether we have to take picture from others picture or not, or what is the important part in that case. So we can also modify the diagrams of picture is allowed, but what is now, it should be, if it is our own picture or own content, then there is no problem. But what is now, if you are taking the picture or any image from other materials, then there is a question. So sir has given how to protect our work and how to copyright that, and what is our own creative work, how to share, what are the licenses have been explained well, and I sir also explained how to upload when you are uploading the some content on the YouTube. So there is no question for, because YouTube a creator takes the that all these what is the about the that is the they clear all these parts. There is no question of this copyright, because they have their own that copyright, and they are checking all the contents, and they are if there is any wrong thing or any copyright things, then they give the message about that. But what if other things, sir have explained, the main thing is that sir have explained, whenever you are using some share, any picture or any other material, then what is you should have we should have to give the citations of or any attribution regarding that materials. So how it can be what is the done, how to carry out this licensing, how to take care about that. So in case of open versa, I have shown how to search the content, what is photo pin, and CC mixer also. So different aspects are there. So I think participants have understood all these CC, that is creative copyright part, and it is very important in the open world here now, because whenever we are sharing our material or you are taking any material from other, so what is all these questions arises. So thank you, sir, you have given very nice information, and what is particularly the creative copyrights. So one can understand how to share, how to check, how to search, and it is essential, it is very necessary to all of us, because we are sharing our material or we are taking some others material like that. So it is very necessary when you are in this word online or any other material, and particularly the book chapters or the research papers or images. So there are nowadays there are many questions, but now the answers are given by Dr. Kushwa in today's presentation. How to creative license you have to use, and how to protect our material. Thank you, sir. Very good information you have given regarding this. This is the new part. We have seen so many apps, but you have given these licenses, how to use that one. So for that, I am on behalf of organizing committee and on behalf of Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, I am very thankful to you, sir. Dr. Kushwa, sir, thank you for nice presentation.
Thank you very much,
Over to
sir,
you,
for
madam.
this opportunity. So I got a lot of comments also. It's really nice to know, because what happened, this whatever the sir was talking in the inaugural session, that now the world is changing and we may have to be into the hybrid mode. We are seeing the IT companies are still in the hybrid mode, going for one day. It might be possible that our education era will change, and if that is the case, it's very, very important to understand about the work, credit, and this licensing part. It's very important. Whatever things we are creating, either it's a small image till the paper, till the video, audio, or the presentations, it has to be done. Very much thankful to Gunule sir for inviting me, for the wonderful audience. So it's really nice to see and to come to Kamla Nehru Mahavidyalaya, because the participants are more, and we get a lot of what we call the energy when we speak, the way the things are happening. Wonderful, sir. Hats off. Many more to come from your side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we have come to the end of the day one, 1 week, a day of 1 week FDP. The link for attendance of FDP will be posted in the respective WhatsApp and Telegram groups. This event will continue tomorrow at 11 a.m. again with the another technical session. We will meet tomorrow with great energy and enthusiasm. That is all for the day. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.
Madam, we are taking one photograph. Okay, so all the participants are requested to switch on your video cameras so that we can take the group photograph for today's day first. No. Thank you, all the participants, and we will meet tomorrow again. Thank you, sir.
Please share the feedback link.
Yes, sir. It will be shared.
Goodbye.
Excuse me, sir. I have a problem. I want to speak organizing committee, sir. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, myself Dr. Anurag Sharma from Government Degree College, Uttarakhand.
Okay.
Sir, actually, you provide the link of WhatsApp group and it is shown full. I'm not joined this group, sir.
Send me the message on WhatsApp. I will give you another link. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I want to confirm regarding the feedback link actually. My data is about to be
Link
exhausted.
is given here for today's attendance is given in the chat box.
Sir, I could not find actually, and my data is about to exhaust, so that's why I was in somewhat hurry.
Feedback
Okay,
today's attendance link is given shared in this chat box also. Okay, and will be available in a WhatsApp groups and Telegram group.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.